everybody. Welcome back to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network. I am one of your hosts, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
Hey, how's it going?
I see what Stoy's doing. I'm not looking.
I was trying to be like, I was trying to lip sync your intro.
See, I saw
half of it.
I saw you doing that,
and vanilla the shit.
And I covered the video with the doc.
Who was that? Who was that one girl that was on Saturday Night Live? Remember, she was on Saturday Night Live.
That one girl on Saturday Night Live.
What's her name? Sister. It was what's her name's sister.
What's her name's sister? Wow.
Jessica Simpson's sister was a pop artist or something like that, right? And like
Ashley Simpson.
They were.
Yeah. Ashley,
yeah. Sure.
Ashley,
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I remember this because like she played one song live, and then the second song they played the same tape again, and she was so embarrassed that she just walked off the stage and they cut the commercial break.
Yeah,
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Milli Vanilli lip singing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyways,
most of the popular divas do that. Like I think Mariah Carey and stuff. Does a lot.
That happened at New Year's.
Yeah.
With Mariah Carey.
I do remember hearing that. I mean, whatever. If you know that's what you're to expect, that's what you're to expect, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would just hate it for like, because I mean, I go see rock and metal bands, so I would hate for them to do that. Like that would be stupid.
Yeah.
Like it would just take me out of the experience.
Yeah. I mean, pop artists, you just kind of expect that, right? At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine
and
so.
I mean, most of them, like even when they are actually singing, there's still the backup vocals because for the harmonies and stuff that's played on a tape usually.
Yeah, I get that.
To make it sound better. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm whatever. How do we get to that point?
I don't know.
How do we get to this topic?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you made the Milli Vanilli comment because I'm an asshole and I like to disrupt things. So I'm sorry.
Also joining us is the joy of EXP Cast, Stojjovic.
The interrupter, the disruptor.
Yeah, it's fine.
All other uppers that you can think of, that's me.
It's okay. Look, I'm gonna be as loud as possible tonight because my wife and kid aren't home. You know why? Because our house is infested, and I came back to do this podcast.
What did you never said what's infested with?
Let me tell you. So if you're watching the video version, you can see that all of my child's toys are in my office here. See,
Yeah.
There's more that way that you can't see. So we've been having a raccoon problem in our house for I don't know, since the spring. And every like couple weeks they have to call like the people who catch raccoons and say, hey, we need to set a trap. Like our landlord does that, but she's like, hey, my wife calls her because I don't want to deal with that crap, and she's like, hey, we have another raccoon, we need you to catch it. Well, this is like our 8th raccoon this year, and it's like in the roof, right? This fucking thing brought fleas into our house.
Yeah,
fleas.
That's what they do. Sons of bitches.
And our cat now has them, and they keep multiplying. Those little fuckers keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. So the last few days, we've been kind of like taking our essentials over to my mother-in-law's house because she lives right down the street. And my wife and kids have been sleeping over there. And I slept there last night, but I'm going to stay here tonight just to kind of like clean and make sure the cat stays in the bathroom where we've kind of isolated her. And tomorrow morning, the pest guy... There's a 5-hour window, by the way, but when this guy might show up, by the way, can't nail down an exact time.
They never can.
And they're going to bug blast and spray the entire house. And so we had to get everything off the floor, vacuum, sweep, dust, everything. Like it's just been a pain in the ass. So
I can imagine.
yeah, and
Yeah, did they at least try to fix whatever issue? Like how is I mean, that's got to be a massive hole for a raccoon to be getting in.
I know. I think it's in the side because like there's like where the gutters are. There's like a I don't know what you call it, but there's like a place where all these animals can travel from one side of the duplex to the other, and it's on the other side, and they're crawling up and like traveling around, and like still like getting in here, and it's just it's gross, man. Like it's just ugh.
Yeah, that's
it
crazy.
sucks. It really sucks. But I'm not gonna let that deter my excitement for this episode. You know why? Because it's first of all, it's the first episode of December, which you know what that means. You know what that means, Jesse? You've been around long enough.
Game of the year.
Means the
He's
hat.
swapping to a Santa hat.
Yeah, I am. Yes,
So
I
you change
am.
your hat every month? Is that how that goes?
Every month. No,
okay.
just for Christmas or
Oh, okay, got it.
holidays, whatever you want to call it. So
Okay.
yeah,
The Festivus month.
yes, Festivus for the rest of us. That's how they say that, right? Yeah. So I'm wearing this all month long, even though it itches the crap out of my head. It's so itchy.
Yeah, those always are so damn
I'm already itching. So this might be a short episode.
Well, at least with the hat, I mean, don't cut the episode short if you can't stand the hat.
No, I'm not going to. I will suck it up for the team. So I don't know. That looks fine.
Our listeners and viewers appreciate it,
I know.
Corey.
You know what?
They told me themselves.
I put the effort into the showmanship of the show. Okay.
So that's what the F means in Arsenal X. The F means for effort, and that's what Corey's bringing.
Yeah. Effort. Yeah, okay. There's not.
Are you thinking? Is there an F in Arsenal X?
I was thinking if I like spelled it out, Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. There's no F anywhere. So
Nope. I just like Corey like staring off into space like
Wait,
there's no F in Arsenal X.
it's hiding behind
But
that.
you know what? If there was an F, it would be you, Corey. The F
Thanks.
would be you.
Thank you.
So F you, Corey.
Thanks, Doy.
You. Okay.
Thanks.
No problem.
Appreciate you. I appreciate
man,
you,
that's why I'm
and
here.
you're the clearly the humor of the show.
Oh, I don't think so.
You're right. Nobody does. So before we get before we get into the meat of the show, there's a couple smaller stories that I didn't really want to put in news that I feel like we could skim through. Right? Titanfall, the original Titanfall is being removed from stores. It's actually already been removed from stores by the time you hear this. And they're removing it from what's EA's subscription service, EA Play and Game Pass Ultimate on March 4th, I think they said, 2021. Yeah, but they're going to leave the servers up, so if you feel like playing Titanfall 1 instead of Titanfall 2, you can still drop in.
I don't know how many people are on Titanfall 1.
I don't either, but I played it on Xbox 360.
I played it on Xbox One. I thought it was pretty solid. Playing the campaign missions was kind of like short.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like this isn't really necessary to play.
No.
I mean, it was nice. It was an interesting take on the campaign and like trying to introduce like campaign and narrative into multiplayer matches. But I know they were really into the whole like no one likes stories and campaigns in their video games.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, naturally, when Titanfall 2 came out, that kind of changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loved the campaign and didn't play the multiplayer. So.
Which actually, as much as I don't like multiplayer games, I actually enjoyed Titanfall 2's multiplayer.
Yeah.
That was the one.
It was real.
That was the one for Stoy.
Yep, that was one for me. Pretty much, that was it.
Yeah, I played it on Xbox 360. Man, that was a good time. Titanfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny when the 360 version came out because they really didn't promote it at all. And
well, it came out 2 weeks after the Xbox One version.
Yeah. Well, but they also didn't show what it was gonna look like. So like, I mean, it ended up looking really good, but still, they like if they would have showed what it looked like, I think more people may have been.
I mean, that's the old marketing ploy, though. They want people to buy the new box, right? I mean, that's what happened with Twilight Princess on Wii and GameCube, right? Where the GameCube version came out 2 weeks after the Wii version because they wanted to sell the Wii version, right? So
yeah. And I bought it for the I bought it for the GameCube because I didn't have a Wii at the time, so it made no difference to me.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Titanfall, not really. Speaking of old games, I should say. Old games. A lot of old games here, guys. A lot of old games. Kingdoms of Amalur is getting a new DLC after, 10 plus years.
Yeah, they talked about this when they announced the remaster. They said they were working on
Fatesworn
expanded. Yeah, they were working on expansion for it, which is cool. Like, hopefully this means that we're gonna get a proper sequel sometime.
I know. I can't wait. Actually, I actually really love that game. And if you pre-ordered Mass Effect 3, you got a code for Kingdoms of Amalur for the N7 armor and the Omniblade or whatever. It was cool.
Yep.
And they were actually I never upgraded them until halfway through the game because they were so powerful. It was awesome. It was so cool. So I
always like those kind of crossovers. Like I think Mass Effect 2 had
Dragon Age
armor. That was really cool.
Yeah. And then vice versa, I think too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think there was small little codex entries actually. I think in Dragon Age 2 there was a codex entry about a Commander Shepard or something like that or whatever. It's something to that effect. It's kind of cool.
I never did get to check out in person the what is it, the Link outfit and Elder Scrolls. Was it
it was okay.
Yeah, which Elder Scrolls was it?
It was
again?
Skyrim for Switch.
Was it Skyrim? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just scan the amiibo and it just popped in a chest.
Yeah.
So
but that's cool. I should probably get back into this. I beat it originally when it came out for the 360, and I bought the remastered version and I played a good contingent of it, but I'll get back to it eventually. I don't know when. Yeah, but I will.
It's okay. We forgive you, Stoy. Promise.
There's so much. I talked about this last week, how this is where I start to hit my backlog. And I have to start kind of collecting all the games I need to kind of finish or whatever, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Well, there's a big campaign coming out this week. Actually, the day this post
what makes me upset.
Well, for me, it's Halo comes out on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Destiny 30th, the Bungie 30th anniversary stuff starts in Destiny on Tuesday. And then the new dungeon for Destiny comes out on Friday. And it's man, plus I'm already prepared to spend tons of money in Destiny because there's a bunch of stuff that they haven't announced yet. And everybody is pointing to Halo. And one of the exotic weapons is clearly going to be the Halo 1 pistol. There's a legendary pulse rifle that's clearly the battle rifle from Halo. There's the a trace rifle, which is one of the the plasma beams or whatever in Halo. There's a ton of Halo stuff that has been leaked all over the place, and one of the universal helmet ornaments is rumored to be Master Chief's helmet, and everybody's freaking out. So
that would be interesting.
I know.
Yeah, and I'm the new chapter of Fortnite started, and
the Rock's in it.
Spider-Man. Yeah, the Rock plays a character that you'll unlock later on in the season.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man is the last unlock in the
Battle Pass.
The Battle Pass, yeah. And then he's got a whole bunch of variants of the outfits that you can unlock as well and stuff.
It's the black suit really and then the white
suit. Yeah, and then some more after that. Probably, usually they'll do silver. like silver, gold, and then like a platinum, which is like a shimmery, like a silver that shines like different rainbow colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do like all, because there's like a whole another battle pass essentially after you finish the regular one, where you unlock a whole bunch of alternate suits for every character.
Yeah,
because it goes 200 levels.
Yeah, 200. Isn't it usually only 100? Or did they change that?
To finish the battle pass, and then there's that whole second battle pass that where you
the second battle pass.
It's where you unlock the alternate costumes, and you can't buy level ups in that one either. You have to outright earn them, which is fine, but yeah.
Okay, that's second battle pass. Quake's getting a horde mode, everybody. Cool.
Nice.
That's cool. I don't know if anybody asked for that. I imagine. Do people ask for that?
I don't know. It also got 4 new maps, so for those of you still playing Quake, let me know how you like them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always think of ODST like that was basically a horde mode. Like they had that horde mode essentially where you could just
firefight.
Yeah, firefight.
Yeah, firefight. That was
It was fun.
I mean, I'm in on it. At least it's not a battle royale they've shoved in there.
Yeah, it's fair. Bethesda released a bunch of new concept art for Starfield.
Did you watch that video?
I did. I watched it. I wrote the story on the website, Stoy.
I know, but I'm just saying for content, for conversation content. Anyway, but that was a pretty cool little deep dive into kind of the atmosphere of what to expect for Starfield. I'm expecting good things out of it. I mean, just by their banter and conversation, what they're talking about, I imagine the lore is going to be huge. In this game.
I really liked Todd Howard's quote in that video too. Right at the beginning, where he said, "I'm just going to read the quote from the video. It's actually from my story, but it's in the video." I think one thing people underestimate about video games is that people think it's just playtime. But I always say it's the one thing video games can give you that nothing else in entertainment can give you is pride. Look what I did. And even though we want to make a game that is very big, that is very long, you can play it for all those years. It's all the paths you didn't take that make it special to you. That you feel like when you finish that quest, that when you feel like you accomplished something that week. The people who love video games can always say, "What did you do today?" "I saved the world." Of course, Todd said
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Said it way more emotionally impactful with that beautiful music behind him. But, just pretend I'm Todd Howard and play some classic music behind you and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, like I think one of the interesting things about that game is that like it does look like there's gonna be some kind of like like almost simulation, like flying like aircrafts and stuff, where you're gonna actually have to like push certain buttons at certain times and and do things to actually fly different places. And I've seen that in other games before. I've played that kind of stuff in other games where, in order to fly the ship, you had to do all these different kind of checklist things. But, like in a bigger...
brings me back to Steel Battalion.
Yeah.
The massive ass controller.
Yeah. Yeah, like I could definitely see that, like that kind of stuff being really, like something for everyone, like different kinds of interests that it'll attract. I can see it. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. The last story here, I was going to put it in the news, but we don't really know that much yet. It's more of it was confirmed on a podcast I listened to and a couple other things, is that BioShock's the next BioShock setting has seemingly been revealed. It takes place in the Arctic and takes place in the 1960s. So I guess if you want to find a way to isolate someone...
The Arctic, huh? Okay.
The Arctic would be the way to do that, I guess. I thought they were going to go to space, but then I guess they don't want to be compared to System Shock and BioShock, so...
Right, yeah, no kidding. Well, space is almost like... I don't know. it's like they have to stay grounded in Earth and like on the planet. I always see it. So like obviously the first BioShock they're going underground, underwater, and then in Infinite they go to the sky. So I guess now why not the Arctic?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? There's probably a giant ass big alien city underneath Antarctica right now that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You ever think of that? Yeah.
Somebody did, I'm sure.
I did. I mean, how much
know.
of Antarctica is really charted? Eh?
All of it.
Okay.
They just put little radars on penguins and they let them walk around.
Yeah, but what's underneath there?
It's like the
penguin poop.
The original Batman movie with all the penguins running around that had the little.
Bro,
where do you think Tim Burton got his inspiration?
When Penguin died, right, and the penguins dragged him into the water to I was a kid, man. I cried my eyes out when I was a kid. I was like, no, even though he was a bad guy, those poor penguins. What are they gonna do? They don't have a father anymore.
I really need to go back and watch some of those movies again because I haven't seen them in so long. Do
yourself a favor, don't.
I should probably watch them at some point. Period.
Yeah, I mean, but
they don't stand up compared to what your expectations are now, because
I know
they're so wildly campy that I've never seen. I mean, when I was a kid, it was really cool because that was my, but like when I got to be an adult, I think that campiness part of Batman just went away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, it's once you really start paying attention to the comics and you see like how not campy they are anymore. Like, it's that's what really makes it so difficult to, like when you hear them talk about people, complain about, oh, why is these DC movies always have to be rated R or whatever and blah blah blah, and it's like, well, because like that's just the setting that a lot of this entertainment is in now. It's just a matter of doing it right.
Yeah. DC's always been darker, than Marvel. Yeah. I mean, admittedly, so it's sometimes you got to go kind of like the edgier route. So, I mean, it deals with death and violent crime, for crying out loud.
Crimes.
Yeah, and that's and that's the thing is there's nothing wrong with that because like Marvel is definitely a lot more mainstream. Like they're trying to go for everyone's superhero movie, whereas DC is just kind of they stick to a little bit more niche kind of thing that like some
Frozen Jesse.
Some Frozen Jesse.
Huh.
Hell yeah.
Just like the next BioShock.
Because it's going to be in Antarctica. Get it?
Yeah. I got it.
Anyway.
Jokes.
Anyway.
All right, Story. And Jesse, are you there? Are you back?
Yeah, it just decided to shut off on me.
Your camera's still frozen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
It's cool. It's all right, Jesse. While you figure that out, I'm going to read this housekeeping because this is Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about Xbox and everything we love about it, including news, rumors, new games, Game Pass, and more. Check out Arsenal X live on Sunday nights on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, or on podcast services and YouTube on Tuesday mornings. You can follow us on social media platforms at Boss Rush Network. Use the hashtag ArsenalX. And you can catch all of our podcasts, reviews, banter pieces, and more on our website, bossrush.net. Another announcement, the store is open. You can go to bossrush.net and click the store icon, and it'll take you right to our store. Or you can go to redbubble.com/bossrushnetwork. It'll take you right there. You can buy all your Arsenal X merch there, and EXPcast. We'll throw that in there as well.
Yeah, yep. Thank you.
And all of our other shows, but mostly Arsenal X and EXPcast.
Yeah.
We don't care about those other guys.
Buy your mama sick shirt for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll love it.
Because you're gonna walk out in front of her and you're just gonna say sick.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, sick.
Yeah. Buy your girlfriend the A-line dress or whatever it's called. I'll just say sick.
I don't understand what. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a mini skirt. There's leggings.
Yeah. Don't worry, I was thinking about you ladies.
Cool stuff.
This stuff.
Bunch of cool stuff.
Cool stuff. Let's see. There's a mouse pad. Yeah.
Yeah. There's stickers. There's magnets. There's a whole bunch of shit.
Mugs. Everybody likes a good mug.
Notebooks.
Everybody likes a good mug. Just throwing that out there. Arsenal X EXP Cast logos. Get them. All right, we're going to get into the part of the show where we talk about what we've been playing. Let's jump in. Stoy, what are you playing?
I played shit. I haven't really played anything new. Like I've been in on Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. I've still been playing that. I don't know why that isn't a contender for Game of the Year, because I think that has a better story than half the games on the Game of the Year list for Jeff Keighley's Game Awards.
Agreed.
And am I upset? No. But that's one of those things that the Game Awards. I think we talked about this before. I think it was on this show where I said, like, everyone's like, "Oh, I don't care about the Game Awards. Game Awards are stupid. Game Awards are useless. Blah blah." But then when they find out their favorite video game didn't win the Game of the Year award, or the category they were in, they're like, "What the hell?" So you do care about the Game Awards. I mean, whatever. I don't. So that should have won game, that should be in the category because of its acting and storytelling and its ability to evoke emotion, because there was a particular mission there was a particular story mode, because you're in the game and you're a spirit guide and you're trying to guide spirits to kind of pass on, to move on, because they're manifesting themselves in the physical world because they have unfinished business or they have just a huge amount of regret. So the first story that you encounter, and I'm not going to spoil it, the first story that you encounter is a story of an older brother taking care of his two younger brothers, and because their parents died, so he becomes the kind of like so you're trying to release his spirit to kind of pass on, to move on. And it's such a powerful, like, when you get to the end of the story, the end of the kind of mission, so to speak, like, it's the way they tell the story, man. It's so powerful. It's like so emotional that I'm just like, man, why can't this be on there? Why can't this be on there,
man?
I mean, I'm grateful that it's on there as an indie category game. It's in for like best indie game, which that better win hands down, because this game rivals AAA games in terms of graphics, in terms of gameplay and everything. So, but we all know AAA games will end up. I contrary to what maybe a lot of people think, I don't think Metroid Dread belongs in that list. But I'm not knocking it, saying it's a good game or it's a bad game. It's a great game. I love Metroid.
I think there's probably 3 games on that list that probably don't belong, to be fair.
Yeah, admittedly. But this year was kind of a down year for video games. Let's just admit that. I mean, a lot of things got pushed back and delayed to 2022, maybe even later.
I know my current game of the year isn't on that list.
Yeah, same with mine, but that's okay.
Well, I believe my my games that I would pick, I think it would Kenna and I believe Death's Door are going against each other, which sucks because like both of them are so good. Like both of them are like because like Kenna is like probably, I think, one of the better looking games this year too.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I think it's the best looking game this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I said it before. A lot of times I just stop and look at the environment and just stop and look at things. Like, it's just it blows me away. It's just amazing. I was on Crossroads last week, and I was saying the same stuff. I was like, there's so many. Chris was on there, and him and I both kind of shared that same sentiment of just it's just a game where you could just stop and look at things. I do that a lot in Forza Horizon 5. Like, when I still play it, I'll like stop the car and I'll just be like, man, look at the mountains. Look at that shit. It's fucking beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Look at that river. Look at that water. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. You know, you're driving around, and then all of a sudden you see some trees, and you're like, look at them trees.
Yeah.
Beautiful trees. Yeah. I mean, you got to stop and appreciate things. You got to stop and appreciate the artists that put in all the effort making that stuff, man.
I mean, the list for Game of the Year this year is like,
it's lame.
It's Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and Resident Evil Village.
I mean, like I said, I hate to knock it because this wasn't necessarily, you know, there was probably a lot of games that were supposed to come out this year that got severely delayed, and you know, for obvious reasons, and that's fine. But we have to admit that this is a subpar list.
Yeah, this list, this, like, if this was any other year, I don't think any of these games, except for maybe, I mean, with the Nintendo bump, Metroid Dread would be on the list, I feel like. But, like, Ratchet and Clank, really? You know?
I don't even think It Takes Two would have made it.
I don't either.
I mean, I acknowledge that what it does for storytelling is really good. I've heard so many good things about it, but I just don't think it really does, like, historically. And we talked about this before, because I talked about this on EXPcast before, because the Game Awards, their top games, Game of the Year awards, all follow the same third-person action, story-driven, narrative RPG games. They're all the same. They're all the same. So you're never going to see, like, an indie game strike through and win or even get a chance.
Yeah.
We saw this last year because a lot of players like us will admit, like, Jesse, your game of the year may be Death's Door. My game of the year may be Forza Horizon 5. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. But, Forza Horizon 5 will never get a crack at any, game of the year award, even though maybe it should, because it's one of the most highly rated games to have come out this year. And we all know, admittedly, that's not the criteria for game of the year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, Cyberpunk is nominated for RPG, best RPG. Like, okay. So we know
it's not even an RPG. It's like it's like an open world shooter with RPG elements is what it is.
Yeah, it's like an action. I liken it to being an action adventure game, but when you see the list of who's sitting on the board, and it's all these like publishers and developers and mega media CDOs and stuff like that, like, okay, I get it. You have to acknowledge Cyberpunk at some point, but whatever, it's fine. So I'm running way off topic. Anyway, Kenna should be game of the year.
Let's be fair though, the Game Awards are not about the awards; it's about the announcements. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But this is the thing. Jeff Keighley really wants to make this a credible Game Awards, and they want this to be as close to the Oscars as possible. In terms of notoriety and importance. And they have really good categories like, video games for impact, best content creators, which, I'm still shocked that podcasts isn't a content creation type category.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, that still boggles my mind. It's like, okay, you got all these streamers there. That's great. But, like, how many podcasts are out there now that deserve a little bit of praise and limelight,
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Like us.
Yeah, exactly. Where's us in this?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've been really getting into Dragon Age Origins. I'm really lumped into the lore. I really appreciate it. I got to give a special shout out to the husband and wife duo over at Lore Together. It was Dragon Age Day yesterday on December 4th. Unofficial Dragon Age Day. And they had unofficial. A special episode. Yeah, they had a special episode talking about Varric Tethris. He was one of the dwarves, one of the main characters in Dragon Age 2 and 3. And they went through a deep dive in his history, and I really appreciated how much Safi was the one that led the episode, how much Safi went through his entire history and just how deep not only his lore is, but just the entire Dragon Age universe and the politics and the cultures. Just, I got to give props to developers like BioWare that could just craft such beautiful worlds that are very just real. It's cool. So I really just give a shout out to them. That's a really good episode and a really good deep dive. But I'm in Dragon Age Origins so much that I really want to beat this so I can get to Dragon Age 2. So I think that's going to be my winter. So and Dragon Age 2 got a frame rate boost too, so I'm super excited, super stoked for that. That's what I've been playing.
Nice. Jesse, what are you playing?
I actually tried a couple of the newer games that came to Game Pass. I tried the one that's in game preview. It's Anvil Vault Breakers, and that's just a game preview. I played that, and I really enjoyed it a lot. So it's like a twin stick shooter. With the typical kind of twin stick shooter where you're going around and collecting stuff, and then you can there's these floating cube things that you can walk up to, and you have in-game currency that you can use to either buy upgrades or you can put different stats or new things on your weapons or your character. So one thing they'll give you 3 things you can pick from, and one will be do more damage with your gun, and one will be that your cooldown time for your kind of speed burst, where you can kind of strife or whatever, or kind of fly away and get out of harm's way, that will cool down quicker, or you just get all these kind of things that you can stack and stuff. And then there's also a whole upgrade tree that you can do along the way. The only thing that I might see a lot of people not really care too much about this is it is a roguelike. So when
I'm
you
out.
die, you have to when you die you have to start all over again. But that's where the skill tree kind of thing comes in. There's certain things that you can unlock, or that you keep on the next go around. So there's those kind of elements there of things you're trying to unlock to save, so you moving forward you can kind of start out with those things or whatever. And then there's different weapons and stuff too that you can pick up along the way. And there's I think it's 5 or 6 different characters you can choose from, and each character's kind of got their own abilities and things that they do. And then I believe you can kind of, I don't know if your upgrades kind of don't matter to each character, because I didn't play it enough to really get to where I unlocked stuff permanently yet. But I would imagine that probably there's certain things that just unlock for no matter what character you're playing as. But it could be, I guess, possibly that each character has its own tree, skill tree or level up tree. But yeah, it looks amazing. It plays really well. I haven't noticed any major bugs or issues for it being a preview game. So if that sounds like something you'd like to play, I definitely suggest giving it a try. I was having fun with it while I was playing. I didn't have a whole lot of time just this weekend to play much, but I wanted to try to at least get something in, new to talk about. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back to it and play it some more, because cool. I was enjoying it, even though I'm not necessarily into the roguelike aspect of it either, but the gameplay is fun enough that I don't, I'm willing to overlook that for right now. So yeah, that was really good. It's definitely worth checking out. And then I tried that Rubber Bandits, which is essentially a Humans Fall Flat, or Gang Beasts game where you're the whole kind of wobbly, just bouncy around character type thing. And then you can grab things and throw things, or you can grab weapons and stuff.
Is that
kind
of like Fall Guys? Have you ever played Fall Guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Like that. Yeah, Fall Guys, like Humans Fall Flat, the Gang Beasts, all those kind of games are all very similar, like in that whole ragdoll kind of physics thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so essentially what it is you go into like each level, there'll be a door that you have to leave, and then there'll be a place that money is that you got to pick up and leave with. But as you progress, it gets more and more difficult. Like there'll be different puzzles you have to solve in order to be able to get the money, or certain things you have to do, and then there's also like situations where you can use like the guns and stuff to blow things up, and sometimes there'll be certain like specialty like kind of items hidden somewhere that will like give you certain abilities or whatever. But yeah, I haven't gotten very far in that either, but it's pretty fun. I mean, if it's just like a game you just want to kind of goof around in and have fun with it, it's definitely one of those kind of games. It's not anything serious. There's no real story or anything going on. It's just more of a waste time kind of fun. So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. So
Cool.
Yeah, I looked at some of the stuff that came out on Game Pass this last week, and something drew me almost wanting to download Final Fantasy 13 too. But I can't get into another RPG. I can't.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair. Dragon Age is a big game. There, Stoy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like, yeah, I can't do any more than that.
Can't do it, he says.
Can't do it, won't do it.
Scrub. Just kidding.
Don't matter to me.
Just kidding. Well, I've been playing. Let me share with you guys what I've been playing. Maybe I have to pull it up because I forget. I've been playing a lot of Tales of Arise. Actually, the game is really good. Speaking of RPGs, speaking of long RPGs, I was like, I wonder how long this game is. Just to get my mind wrapped around it. The game's like 50 hours. I'm like,
Pat just beat it. He platinumed it. It took him 70 hours to do that. Yeah.
Neat. I will not be doing that. Won't be doing it. It's a great game though. Great game. I am getting ready. I'm not very far. This whole week has just been a mess because of this whole bug thing. But I've been playing that. I'm in the castle of the First Lord. So it's cool. I like it. I love the characters, by the way.
Yeah.
Characters are cool. I've also been playing Halo multiplayer. Still good. Not much more to say about that. Glad that Fiesta event is over because that event was not great. It's okay, though. They have time to fix it. I've also been playing Forza Horizon 5 because my nephew wanted to watch me play it because he's not allowed to really play anything because he's 8. And he's stuck in that age where he's like too young to play the cool games but too old to play the kid games, and he's kind of like, I want to play this, but I can't. Although they did just download Fortnite today, so he's going to get his first taste of what everybody else is playing. But yeah, Forza Horizon 5 is pretty good. He made me try to drive into the volcano. It was very uneventful. They just put you back on the road. But yeah, I just kind of drove around. He's like, this game looks awesome. And I was driving the Bronco that they give you at the beginning.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was fun to watch him kind of get excited about it. But last but not least, guys, I've been playing Outriders.
Nice.
2021 Game of the Year, everybody.
Okay, so tell me what's new, really. Is there anything new?
I mean, there's a bunch of.
There's a lot of new.
So I never really finished the campaign, so I'm still making my way through that. And then a lot of that new stuff is like end-game stuff because they're trying. Because when that game came out, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're not making a game as a service," and it totally is. Like it totally should have been. It's like the reverse of Avengers. They're like, oh, well,
right, yeah.
Here's this awesome single-player campaign that you can play with your friends if you want, with loot and stuff. And there's an end game, but you don't have to participate because it really doesn't lead to anything. Well, then they're like, well, here's your free update and New Horizons. And then we're going to, early next year, we're giving you a brand new story to play through, an expansion and new end game stuff. And it's like, okay, well, this is just Borderlands now. Gears of War meets Borderlands. That's all it is now. But that game is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Like, game is awesome. It's somebody who likes Gears of War and Destiny, and they just pretty much fuse the two together. And I'm just like, sick.
Jesse, we talked about this. We talked about the episode where today it was our episode where we talked about what video game developer would you want to have resurrect a dead franchise, and we talked about Outriders today, and we talked about People May Fly. We talked about your Nightmare Creatures, comment, but we thought that if anybody could revive in a good way Army of Two, it would be People Can Fly.
Yeah,
because Outriders is so ridiculously campy.
Yeah.
You know, and Bulletstorm was so ridiculously campy too.
Yeah,
which is exactly what Army of Two is. And obviously, we know People Can Fly can make a really good damn shooter.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I think People Can Fly should take it up. Come on.
Bring back Army of Two with People Can Fly, EA. Yes.
Yes. Do it.
Yes. Gosh, those games were cool.
Yeah.
Real dumb, but cool.
No, I loved every single one. Even the Visceral did the 40th Day.
Yeah, dude, the 40th Day is the best one.
No. Visceral did Devil's Cartel. 40th Day, the second one, was the best one. Yeah. You're right.
Oh, man, dude. And then the masks, like today, like if you wanted to base it off of whatever is happening today, you could, like, the different masks could give you different powers. Yeah. Or, like, stat boosts, I guess, or whatever. Stoy, you're a genius.
I know. What can I say?
Army of Two. Why aren't those games backwards compatible, EA? It's only the first one.
Yeah, only the first one. The other two are not.
Yeah, we've been kind of wondering that for a long time now because like almost everything is there.
That was the other game. Remember the other day when we were talking about, like, this was kind of like it for backwards compatibility because of licensing and stuff. And I said Alpha Protocol was the first game, and the second game I couldn't remember. The 40th Day was the second game.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be on EA.
I love my wife and kid at home because I can be as loud as I want. It's awesome.
Gosh. I mean, maybe those games will come out on EA Play. Maybe EA kind of has a stranglehold on it, and
maybe
they just don't want to let Microsoft kind of take it because Army of Two is available on EA Play.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, just the first one though.
Not even the disc can be played. Damn it.
Man, that second game though. I own it digitally too, so if I just plugged in my 360, I could just play it.
Yeah, same. I could do. But I could too. I got both physical copies.
Yeah. I've been really itching to collect physical games now, Stoy. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I think didn't they give the Army of Two, the second Army of Two, out as games with gold like during 360 era?
I think so. It was
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I never played the Devil's Cartel though.
Okay. Devil's Cartel was good. I mean, it was kind of it was a less campy game because Salem and Tyson were the two main characters in the first two games, and then they kind of split up. They went their separate ways, so to speak, after the second game. So you played as two new characters who didn't have that same kind of banter. But I thought like Visceral did a good job with the action and the intensity of it, but I think it took more like a serious tone as compared to the other two. So
yeah, I also like the idea of the aggro system.
Yeah, for sure,
which was cool.
Back to back, Tice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Come on, Salem, back to back.
It was cool.
That was actually cool, even though it was super campy. But like you get that adrenaline, you get the aggro mode up, And then you go back to back, and you're just like,
I know,
full circle. So cool.
I know. Ah, man. Gosh.
Anyway,
those games were cool. I don't care what anybody says. Also, at that time, I was really like, I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, and I really wanted to play God of War 3, so I just bought Dante's Inferno. Also, a pretty decent game.
Yeah. I played that one a little bit, but not a lot.
But Outriders, Game Pass. Game Pass's game of the year, I'd say, so far, in terms of third party or indie or whatever. Man, gosh, when it goes on sale, I think I'm going to buy it just to have it, because I know it's going to leave Game Pass when that expansion hits, I bet. Or like shortly after. So, that's what I've been playing. We're going to start kind of including in this segment weekly pickups, games or things that we picked up for Xbox-related trinkets. Stoy, you said you've purchased a few classic games.
Yeah, I've been kind of getting into this. I've been a collector for quite a while. And I picked up my brother's old tube TV because I got into this. I want to make a shooter game cabinet, like with light guns and stuff like that. So I took my brother's old tube TV, and I'm going to build kind of like a stand of some sort, hook my PlayStation 2 up to it, and then because that has like a lot of the really good shooters on that game, like Time Crisis, Resident Evil Dead Aim, all that stuff. And so I ended up picking up Time Crisis, Crisis Zone, Time Crisis 2, and this movie Endgame, which had this it was like a Run Lola Run type game where it's like you're a super spy and you're constantly running through these levels, and obviously you're shooting whatever, but it was kind of like a futuristic type game. It was really cool, actually. I mean, everybody knows the Time Crisis games, but so, and then I was watching I was at work on Thursday, and I was watching Independence Day on the TV. So I was like, shit, I remember the PlayStation 1 game of that was actually pretty solid. Like it was air combat primarily. So like, you're in these like big sandbox areas and you're shooting down alien aircraft, and it was actually pretty solid. Like it was actually a pretty good game. So I bought that on eBay, like in the lunchroom. I was like, shit, let me buy that.
Oh yeah, that's
and then
cool.
I ended up getting Super Mario All-Stars for Super Nintendo and Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest.
Mm-hmm. What you said Nintendo. You said that like somebody didn't know what it was called.
Well, because I thought it was called Diddy Kong's Quest.
Oh no, it's Diddy's Kong Quest.
Because I thought it was Diddy's.
It's a play on words.
Diddy Kong. Yeah, it was Diddy Kong. I thought it was just Diddy Kong's Quest.
No,
until someone reminded me, no, it's Diddy's Kong Quest as a play on words to conquest.
Yeah.
So I learned that just recently.
Good job, Stoy.
I'm smart.
You should go on Pow Block now. You have all that knowledge.
I'm waiting for the call.
That could be your Game Fact Advance.
They haven't called to ask me to come on the show. So
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't understand why. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, so that's what I picked up this week.
Cool. Jesse, did you pick anything up this week?
No, I really didn't this week.
Well,
yeah, I won't even get into it, but yeah, it's some money issues this week.
Yeah,
thanks to my wife's work, or I don't know if it's technically her work. Whoever deals with, paying her for her short-term leave decided not to, and so yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then they, instead of finding the issue and solving it by putting the, direct deposit, they decide to send a physical check in the mail to make us wait even longer.
Of course.
So
just like the old days.
Yeah, the long ago.
So dumb. But yeah, this week has kind of been. Yeah, I really haven't had any extra money this week, so.
Well, I didn't buy anything personally, but I did, guys. I did get 2 toys for my birthday. we got 2 Destiny statues here. We got the Drifter statue.
Sweet.
Neat.
Yep, goes with my Exo Stranger statue, and then I also got the third in the set. Got Eris Morn. This one is actually the most detailed. She looks good. Her robe is all stitched, and it has like the stitching texture on it. And
Sweet.
It looks cool. And the green flaming ball, of course.
I want
cool.
that. I want that. The alternate Master Chief statue.
The one with the red sword from Best Buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that first one they put out. The one.
Yeah.
With the assault rifle, or is it a battle rifle or the assault rifle?
Yeah, battle rifle, I think.
Yeah, or the yeah. So I have that one, but then they came out the one with the energy sword. I don't like the red energy sword. I actually like the blue energy sword better.
Yeah,
but I already got that one.
Yeah, they have one of each of them, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So I got that one, and then I was like, oh man, I wish I kind of would have got the one with the energy sword and the grapple. But then like, I don't know, I actually like this one better, and plus with kids, like that grapple, like it's literally just this little plastic wire that comes off, and that would go missing in like 2.5 seconds. So this one's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I'm so excited for Halo, guys. That campaign's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so big. It has like, if you're gonna compare it to another Xbox title, like that Gears open world thing, I think like that's what it feels like they're gonna go for a little bit, but also has like Far Cry crap in it, which I don't know. And Halo kind of intrigues me. I did get like a couple months ago when they were on sale for like. Remember when they were having the $3, $5, and $8 Far Cry sale, Jesse? When Far Cry 6 was originally supposed to come out and then they delayed it. I bought Far Cry 3 and 4 were on sale.
Okay.
So I bought them, and I have yet to play them. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it at some point.
Honestly, I would just start with 4, but I mean, like 3, I didn't mind 3, but like 4 is pretty good. But the problem is I had played 5 before playing 4, and so it was really hard to go back to 4 because a lot of those mechanics and stuff feel so much better in 5. They're just improved so much more in 5. But I mean, 4 is a good game, and and 4 is kind of the prequel to the newest one. So
yeah. Well, that's...
I really enjoyed Far Cry 3. Probably it's one of my favorite ones. I know that much. 5 was good. 4 was 4 was all right. Like I wasn't. It was okay.
I feel like Far Cry is like one of those series that whatever the first one you play is the one that you like the most, kind of deal. Kind of like Final Fantasy in a way.
Yeah, sometimes like that. Like actually, Far Cry 1 was, Far Cry 1 and 2 I wasn't necessarily a fan of. Like Far Cry 2 was almost like too survivalist, too realistic for me at the time. I don't think I was really into that. And then Far Cry 3 came out and turned it more a little bit of mix of both. So
yeah. Cool. All right, guys, let's get into the news. We have a lot to go over and not a lot of time. So our first story, Halo Infinite to add fan favorite playlists, quote, soon due to player feedback. Halo Infinite's multiplayer is clearly winning over fans with its amazing gameplay, strong weaponry, and hitting all the right nostalgia points. As great as all of these things are, the one thing that players have complained about is the lack of playlists for specific modes, particularly Social Slayer and SWAT. This week, 340...
See, this is the kind of funny problem, is that developers don't know what you people want. They try to assume they know what you want, and then all of a sudden it comes out to be like, no, that's not what we want, and it's like, okay, I guess we dropped the ball on that one. So gamers are a fickle breed.
Well, the thing is I always looked at this as
it's a beta.
It's a beta too.
That once the game came out, then it would go to how their normal multiplayer has always been, where you can choose the kind of types of gameplay that you want to play. I just, they just want people to get used to everything, and so they just make it so you can't pick.
Okay, so I have like a timeline and a quote from their community manager here. This week, 343 Industries stated that they appreciate everyone's feedback and the team is currently, quote, working on plans to add many of the playlists fans have requested, but that it will take some time. Quote, let's talk about Halo Infinite playlists. We've been reading your feedback, and we're working on plans to add Fiesta, Tactical Slayer, SWAT, and Free-for-All playlists as we speak. They won't land by December 8th, but the team is pushing to get them in before the end of the year. Our goal for events is to try new modes prior to adding them to playlists. We'll monitor playlist health after the 3 additions above and adjust our offering if needed, but we're excited to make these updates before the holidays. This is just the start of the conversation with y'all. A Social Slayer playlist with multiple variations is also in the works. We see this request the most, but we won't be able to get that one ready until after the holidays. We hope you can understand and enjoy the ones that make it in before the team takes a well-deserved break. So that was John Junzek. We'll say that. I butchered his name, but so those playlists are coming. I'm excited. I want SWAT and Social Slayer, and like there's so much going on now in so many games I had to catch up on. And Halo's campaign is clearly going to take a while. You know, I'm not the type of person that needs these playlists. You know, I mean, like they'll be nice additions when they come, but I don't have enough time to be like super Halo player. You know what I mean? I just want to sit down and play a few matches before bed one night and just call it a day. You know. And if I get stuck playing oddball and nobody's playing the objective, well, then I'm going to go play the objective, you know?
Yeah. Isn't that been the main problem that a lot of people are encountering, is that most people are playing these game modes like it's always just like every mode is team deathmatch?
No, every mode is not team deathmatch. People want
I know, but everybody plays every mode like it's team deathmatch, which has always frustrated me with multiplayer games because I'm an objective-based type person.
Yeah.
And that was always my problem every time I wanted to play Battlefield. It's like I'm playing rush mode, seek and destroy, you know, capture the flag, all these games, and like, all right, you guys gonna hold down this site like I am? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, it's not.
Yeah, there is one thing too I kind of wanted to bring up, like a question, like slash like thing that I was wondering if we might end up seeing with. So, you know, like obviously we're not getting the co-op version of the campaign right away, and it's not gonna be until like a couple of months into next year. So I'm wondering though if they're going to maybe like drop some more like story content during that time, and like kind of almost as like an apology kind of thing, you know, that you had to wait so long. So then, you know, that way even if you did maybe finish the campaign, there'd still be that new stuff that you could play like for the time being. But I don't know. I was thinking that the other day. I wonder if they're gonna like do something, you know, because we had to wait so long for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they'll probably give you like Slayer bucks or whatever they're called in this game, you know.
Slayer bucks?
I don't know. Whatever their in-game currency is, that's just what I called it. Slayer stash. I don't know. Spartan coin. It's
sure, yeah.
You know. Speaking of multiplayer games, guys, Fortnite Chapter 3 is started. And guess what? It's starring The Rock. Surprise.
I mean, that is kind of surprising. Yes.
I mean, I guess I don't really follow a lot of Fortnite news. I think Jesse's really the only one that plays Fortnite on a semi-regular basis here. But I guess midway through Chapter 2, there's a character called The Foundation, and a lot of people were pointing to The Rock as the voice actor for this character. And then when the end event just happened, which was like a war against the Cube Queen or whatever, the portal opened up and The Rock showed up to save Jonesy and all the other Fortnite characters, Banana Man and shredded teddy bear. I don't know. I don't know who any. Captain America and Wolverine and Batman, I guess, too. He came down.
John Wick.
His character model looks cool though. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I would probably play as The Rock if I was playing this game, dude. If I was in the Fortnite, all these skins, dude, I would be poor. I'd be so poor. It's so good that I don't play this game. Although I did just re-download it because my nephew wants to play, and I told him I would play with him. Yeah. So I'm using a skin from like, I don't know, it's like a neon blue skin. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, for me, like, you know, I play it with my friend Pat and stuff, but my kids are both of them are into it, my daughter and my son, and so every once in a while it's just kind of fun to just team up with them and play a game together with them.
Yeah.
And I'm decent enough at it that it's not like a game that I'm not enjoying, playing with them. I'm actually getting to enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, there's, it's an online multiplayer game, so it has its things that get me really irritated, but but it's still can be fun. So
yeah.
And now, like, part of that problem too, getting irritated with it was just there wasn't many options for multiplayer online games, and when all you're playing is just one, or only have one as an option, it just kind of gets repetitive after a while. But now you have Halo and stuff like that, and even like I was playing what's it called, the game that was like Halo with portals or whatever,
Splitgate.
I was playing Splitgate. I was playing that for the longest time until Halo came out too. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm too invested in these other games to, like, I don't know, Halo and Destiny. Like, I actually thought about buying the Battle Pass for Fortnite this season, but then I was like, well, I know I'm not going to play it. I just know I'm not going to play it after, a couple days with my nephew. So, and plus, like, all the Destiny 30th anniversary stuff is coming out this week. So I'm like, I'm already prepared to spend a ton of money there. I'm not wasting my money on something I know I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
So, speaking of things I want to play, Jesse, Sea of Thieves Season 5 is here, and it bombards players with new content. Started on December 2nd, by the way, in case you guys are keeping track. Let's see.
Yeah, it's...
Rare added a lot of different features, unique progression system, and added a seasonal model that really reinvigorated the game. I'm jumping halfway down this article, by the way. Adding unique cosmetics and bringing special items to the game. They even partnered with Disney to bring Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean story arc. More Buccaneers than ever were ready to board their vessels and plunder the high seas again. Now, heading into the 5th season, Sea of Thieves is adding a plethora of new features, quests, customization options, and cosmetics for players to loot. Here's the boatload of features listed below. Man, this guy, whoever wrote this article, has some great pirate puns. This article.
Really?
Yeah. Create custom quests. You can bury treasure and make custom treasure maps to share with other crews. If crew finds your treasure, you'll be rewarded with lots of rep and renown. Theme firework crates. You can now sit around the world to relax and take it all in. It's been added to the emote wheel. You can sleep in a bed. These are great features, by the way.
Okay.
The speaking trumpet has augmented, so you can turn it around and use it to whisper. Cannon attachments for rowboats for extra firepower, or if you're escaping your ship, you can attack someone who's trying to murder you with their own ship. 100 new levels of rewards, holiday-themed gear, new emissary rewards and legendary ship parts, a brand new plunder pass, new emotes and Pirates of the Caribbean gear, including a Captain Barbossa skin to go with your Jack Sparrow skin, so that's cool. New weapon sets, instruments, and brand new canine companion. You can have a canine companion. I'm back in.
Nice.
Back in. 3 new sea shanties, improvements for your item transfer system. Rats. Keep an eye out for rats on your ship, and that may mean something bad is happening below deck. Enemies now drop ammo pouches, and in-game character models will now move their mouths when they speak.
Nice.
So there's your additions to Season 5 of Sea of Thieves. Man, Sea of Thieves, guys. Sea of Thieves. Another one of those games that just nobody talks about, but just keeps on floating.
Yeah.
Floating the boat.
Well, and like I said, like that's like, in my opinion, they got robbed of not being in the ongoing games category in the Game Awards this year, because in my opinion, that's like, I mean, you have your Fortnite, obviously, that, you know, like they bring a lot of different content in every year, but like as far as like actual like genuine improvements and gameplay, you know, improvements, like Sea of Thieves, in my opinion, is so much better, you know, as far as that category goes. So yeah, it's a bummer that they weren't nominated this year.
Story, you thinking about jumping back in?
I've never played it, honestly.
It doesn't matter. You played on you played on jumping in.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's always sounded interesting to me, I guess, and I know you can play it. You can play it single player.
Yeah, but the fun is like
with
screwing over your friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and like Jesse yelling at me to pull down the sail, and I roll it up instead, and then we go to turn, and Ed fell asleep, so he's not manning the cannons, and then we die. That really happened, by the way. Yeah, it's probably on our YouTube channel somewhere.
Yeah. We had so much fun with that game.
I know.
Anytime we would play it.
Remember when Ed fell asleep and we like pushed him to the edge of the boat, and then we just started dancing around him, and he woke up and got really annoyed that we were dancing because he hates it when people dance on him or something.
Yeah.
Man.
And didn't we like push him off the boat one time?
I think so, yeah. And he woke up and like
we were just going full steam, and he's like, "Hey guys, you're leaving me behind."
Yeah, it was funny.
Fall asleep, bro.
All right, guys. So Xbox Winter Game Fest is bringing over 35 demos to the consoles as part of the Game Awards celebration. Xbox has always celebrated games in the Game Awards, and this year is no different, as Microsoft has announced that as part of the Game Awards celebration, they will bring over 35 demos to consoles. The demos are releasing on December 7th, 2021 as part of the ID at Xbox program, and are going to be for upcoming unreleased games. Here are a few games that have been confirmed, although by the time this posts, I think the rest of them will be confirmed Monday and Tuesday. I think they're doing like a rollout on the ID at Xbox site, so go check it out. There is a link in the description of the episode on bossrush.net if you're watching it there. You can just click the link and you can go see what games are coming. Loot River. This game looks really cool. It
procedurally generated. You already lost me.
Yeah, I know. I kind of got that too, but like the concept seems
action
cool.
roguelike. Yeah, totally lost me.
Yeah, I mean the concept seems cool though. Like an action game that combines like a hard action game with shifting block puzzles like Tetris seems really cool. Mm-hmm. I hate that. I hate that it's a roguelike. God. Death Trash looks cool. It's a post-apocalyptic world where cosmic horrors long for humanity, but are met by punks with shotguns.
Oh no!
Blacktail seems kind of cool.
Not punks with shotguns.
Punks with shotguns.
No, that's my worst enemy.
Blacktail looks kind of cool. A retelling of Baba Yaga's origin story set in surreal, grim Slavic folklore. A one-of-a-kind blend of exploration and intense archery combat with dark storytelling. Seems neat. Seems okay. The Tale of Biston looks cool. I hope that's how you say it. A story-driven action-adventure game inspired by the 12th century tragic poem Khosrow and Shirin. I hope I said that right. Somebody will know. You play as a stone carver who makes his way to Mount Biston with no memory of anything before that moment. Man, amnesia, man. Just rampant in these video games.
Isn't that the premise of like every video game?
Yeah.
You wake up in a world and you know nothing.
Right. An insidious blight has spread, bringing forth many dangerous foes. You must battle through mythical enemies and travel between the real world and an etherical place of forgotten memories to discover the secrets of your past.
Ooh.
And then Nobody Saves the World, which I think is probably one of the biggest demos here. It's by Drinkbox, the makers of Guacamelee, and what was the game they made before that? The Severed. They made Severed, and a few other really cool Vita games, I think, is what they were known for a while. Complete quests to discover and swap between more than 15 varied and distinct forms, mix and match abilities to unlock and complete even more challenging quests, while exploring a vast overworld and its extensive dungeons, either solo or with a friend, to stop the calamity and save the world.
Calamity?
That's what it says. The calamity.
Calamity Ganon?
No, it's...
I mean, every video game has a calamity. Every video game has someone that loses their memory. Yeah.
Yeah. Stoy, I know you're pretty big in the indie scene. Are you excited for some demos, some cool demos? I know we got stuff like Tunic in this at some point, and Below we're in this as well at some point.
Actually, one of the ones that interests me is Blacktail. The like Slavic folklore is something I kind of grew up reading a little bit of when I was a kid, and I mean it's not really related to. I mean, Slavic is different than Eastern Europe, but this is the story of Baba Yaga when I was a kid growing up was always kind of intrigued me. So it's kind of interesting to kind of have a story or a game based on that. And the Tale of Biston, actually, these I'll have to look up these developers, but it sounds like kind of like there's a really big push for like international developers coming in with some big indie titles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to start kind of Googling these things, but
yeah, I think the full list will be available on Tuesday, I think, or the games will just be available on Tuesday, but the full list and a lot of the Idea of at Xbox site has trailers and stuff for these too. So, Jesse, you excited for any of these? Are you excited for demos in general?
Yeah, I'm just in general. I actually went back and played one of the demos that were released the last time we got a bunch of demos that actually still works. The Justice Sucks Recharged or whatever, and that was like where you play as the robot vacuum cleaner that can hack into things, and you have to use hack into things to use it to take out the robbers and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
then you suck up their blood and their bodies after you're done cleaning up to complete the level. And I just love anytime we get some of these just weird indie games, there's always just something for everyone. So yeah, anytime this kind of stuff happens, I absolutely love it. I love that they started doing the whole demo thing again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Black Cube Games is developing Tale of Biston, and they're based out of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, but the majority of their staff is Middle Eastern descent. So that's interesting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested in this, definitely, for sure.
Cool. All right, we're going to move on to our next story about Rare's Everwild. You know, that cool game that got delayed a while ago because there was that rumor that they got rebooted or reset or whatever. So I'm going to kind of jump down here to the middle of the article here. Rare has added more firepower to its arsenal, hiring Alien Isolation's lead designer, Gary Napper. Napper is no stranger to Team Xbox, being part of the early development at Sega of Halo Wars 2 and moving into the Alien team shortly after Alien Isolation. If you missed it the first time. He took to Twitter stating that he is, quote, really looking forward to making some amazing things with this incredible team and studio. His official quote is, thrilled to announce that today I joined Rare as a design director on Everwild. Really looking forward to making some amazing things with this incredible team and studio. Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, gave players wow, an update on Everwild earlier this summer, stating reports of a reboot were, quote,
Jesse started laughing before I did. I want to put that
I know
out
your videos are blocked because I know when things like this pop up, I'm just gonna be distracted. So
actually, I was hiding a yawn.
Yeah, sure you were, Jesse. I had a tickle in the back of my throat. That's why it sounded like that. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm really sorry. As someone who got made fun of for their name for years and years and years, I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah, because Matt Booty
But
listens
still.
to this show.
Well, I mean, who knows? Matt would love to have you on the show.
I would love to have Matt Booty on the show. I'd love to have anybody from Xbox on the show. Phil, I sent you that invite, 1,000 times this year. I probably write you 3 letters a day. So waiting.
I wrote you a letter. Still ain't calling. We gotta make a rap about writing to Phil Spencer.
Yeah. Reports.
Xbox got cold and I wonder why.
Wow.
It cannot power up. I'm gonna throw it out my window and buy a Series S.
All right. Wow. I don't even. Reports of a reboot were probably a little more definite, a little more extreme than what really happens as a game comes to life. Even if the game is still a ways off, they're moving in the right direction, taking their time, and making what is hopefully another successful game for Xbox Game Studios. This is cool. I'm glad that they are kind of building up a team, it seems. I know they're still working on it and stuff. That game was really unique looking and cool when they first showed it. What do you guys think of Everwild?
I don't know what this is. The closest thing I could think of would be this is going to be Xbox's Monster Hunter series.
Oh, Monster Hunter. Interesting.
I mean, that's the closest thing I could think of when I was looking at this trailer and thinking, what could this be?
Interesting. I didn't.
I know it's going to be like a sprawling RPG type, but I think it's going to be focused on hunting. It just seems like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for me, honestly, at this point, Rare has done so many great games, over the years, especially when they did a lot for Nintendo and stuff like that. That I'm just honestly, I'm just excited to when they do something different and new. I'm just excited to see what it is. I have faith in what they do. Honestly, I don't think they've ever really let me down. They may have made something that wasn't exactly 100% up my alley, but it usually is a good game,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited to see what it is, especially if if there is any kind of changes and stuff like that, yeah, I'm all in on this for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out when it hits Game Pass for sure. All right, our second to last story here. Respawn's Vince Zampella is now head of the Battlefield franchise, building a, quote, Battlefield universe. There's a quote here from EA's COO, Laura Miele. I hope I'm saying that right. Miele. I hope I'm saying that right.
Sure.
He creates culture-defining entertainment that resonates beyond games. We are bringing one of the most influential and talented individuals in entertainment to a franchise that is ready to be unleashed into the modern era of gaming. It's an extraordinary inflection point in gaming history. I don't know about that.
This man is hugely responsible for creating the Call of Duty franchise, and now
here's where it starts. This
man is running Battlefield. Can you believe that?
Here's where it starts. Medal of Honor is where it started at EA. Then he went to Activision to start Call of Duty. Then he created Respawn after the whole Modern Warfare 3 debacle and started Titanfall. The man created Apex Legends, and now he's heading Battlefield. What is this man?
Yeah.
This man is... We should be worshiping this man. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he pretty much brought us He brought us Call of Duty 2, one of the better World War II shooters still to this day. You know, Modern Warfare, Titanfall, Star Wars Fallen Jedi. You know, Apex Legends, I guess you could say fine. I'm not into that, but
no, but
man,
it's still
and then now
incredibly
he's
popular.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I mean, like I said, it's not my cup of tea, but it's hugely popular. Like it's still stealing players from Fortnite to this day still. But you know, now the fact that he's going to come in and hopefully put in his kind of style into Battlefield, which is something that it sorely needs, because obviously, as we've seen with Battlefield 2042, it lost direction. It lost direction. It lost a purpose, and it's like I swear I think the developers at DICE just phoned this shit in. Well, they're just like, let's just put something out.
Well, the lead developer, remember we were talking about Fozzie Mesmar last week. He
just bounced.
Yeah,
he's out there.
He's now the head of editorial at Ubisoft now. So, all you guys last week who listened to the show, thinking that he would end up at Machine Games to lead Quake. Sorry, guys. He's gonna go make open world RPG multiplayer RPGs now or you know, crazy multiplayer shooters for Ubisoft. So maybe he'll fix X Defiant or the new Ghost Recon game that was essentially the same thing.
Yeah. Like for me, I remember when the first Medal of Honor kind of games came out, and like, you know, at that point I would play first person shooters, but like I didn't really care about campaigns that a whole lot quite yet. But those campaigns were some of the best. Like, you know, like I think won like awards and stuff for like sound and like the, you know, like they had the whole storming of the you know, the beaches and stuff like that, and it was like
Medal of Honor
like,
Frontline.
Yeah, it was so like
about,
it was so true to like the reality and stuff like that, and they did such a good job on it. It was such a great like campaign at the time. So yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, that was one that I was kind of bummed when they tried to reboot Medal of Honor, that it kind of failed. I was kind of bummed because I really wanted that to.
I really liked it, actually. Honestly, I liked the Medal of Honor reboot, and Warfighter was okay, but I think they rushed that. Was okay. Yeah. They rushed that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I hope that Battlefield turns around, because it's always been kind of like I don't know.
There's potential there. There's really potential there.
Well, not only that, but like Call of Duty comes out every year, and you just expect that. Whereas Battlefield kind of always felt like the boutique multiplayer shooter, where like, you know, you get one every 3 or 4 years. You know, it's updated and supported for such a long time, and this was the year for them to overtake Call of Duty, I feel like, and they just really choked, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Choked on a big fat one. Sorry. I mean, they did, right? Like, I mean...
No, they did. They did, yeah, honestly. I mean, this was their year to do it, and they, fell short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, like, what they need to do is they need to take the Halo route of having smaller maps where you can have your you know, like your Call of Duty style, like close quarters combat.
Well, their thing is big multiplayer. Their thing is the big multiplayer thing, though.
Yeah, which they can have that. But if you're offering something for people who like both of those things, and you can choose to play what you want to do.
So like, you're talking like having a little bit something for everybody, so something for both.
Yeah.
So still have those big maps that obviously they're very well known for, but having those small maps that people like. Okay, all right.
Yeah, like honestly, I think that's what they needed to do though in this year's game, because with it being only multiplayer, they needed to have like something for every kind of style of person that that likes to play the Call of Duty games, and say, hey, if you like to play the Call of Duty games, well, here's your Call of Duty style matches and stuff. But guess what? We also have destructive, like stuff in the maps and things like that.
I still want those cowards to bring back Bad Company.
Yeah. Yeah, Bad Company was a little bit more close quarters, wasn't it? But I think that was more of just because of the times too. They weren't quite into the massive maps yet.
Yep.
As much.
Cool. All right, guys, our last story here. Big news. Big news. Not really. I almost didn't even put it in here, but it intrigues me. Xbox reportedly exploring handheld options for cloud gaming outside of cell phones and tablets and stuff. So I'm just going to jump to the middle of this story here. After 20 years and many technological advancements later, it seems Xbox will in fact be going portable in one way or another. In a recent report from Windows Central, they mentioned the Qualcomm Snapdragon G3X G1 handheld developer kit, which is a handheld device similar to the Steam Deck or a more powerful Nintendo Switch for Android gamers. This could be a cheaper solution for Microsoft, but the outlet also mentions that they have been dabbling in their own hardware specifically to perform well with their cloud gaming service. Quote, "We have been hearing for a while at Windows Central that Microsoft has been dabbling with Xbox handheld prototypes for some time now. Although something like the Qualcomm platform may be the family of technologies Microsoft needs to really give it some serious consideration." I kind of wrote a thing that I would absolutely love an Xbox handheld device, but I would want it to be more in line with the Steam Deck, even if it is a little bit more expensive. They could have the cloud version, and then they could have the SSD version the way that the Steam Deck is going. I mean, I love the Switch, right? But like a lot of me just was like, man, I wish this thing had my Xbox games on it a lot of the time, whether it's, grinding out some quests in Destiny or playing Halo or playing the Halo campaigns, or even something as small as like Gears Tactics or Halo Wars, just to kind of like play in bed or something, which I've been trying the cloud gaming stuff and it works fine, but like I have an iPhone and it really sucks to play in the browser, and it doesn't run as well as it would native, like like the Android app does, right? Like it doesn't have all the features. Everything still runs at like 30 frames a second and choppy and stuff. I would kill for a dedicated Xbox handheld.
See, I suppose that's the thing that Microsoft has to explore, and I imagine this what the article alludes to. They have to explore how much of their player base is actually utilizing the cloud gaming and actually utilizing the gameplay on the go feature. I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head in terms of like how many people utilize the Switch in handheld mode versus docked mode. I remember that stat coming out some time ago, but so it may work for Nintendo, but would it work for Xbox? I guess they have to kind of see and understand. Does it really benefit them in the long run? Because that's a significant hardware production that they have to go into, and they want to be competitive.
Yeah, and like I mean, I guess the cloud gaming stuff makes sense, right? But like at that point, why don't you just buy a backbone for your phone? Like if you're gonna do, unless there's like a specific technology in there that works better with their cloud gaming service than something that iPhone or Android can deliver, like I just don't see why you would have a device to do that. Even the Steam Deck, like I know it's open source or open platform and you can install Windows on it. Like even then, you could just buy a Steam Deck and install Windows and play basically your Xbox games there, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So maybe that's going to be something that they're going to explore once the Steam Deck comes out, to see who actually really uses it.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem too right now is there's still a lot of people who don't have phones that can do 5G.
And I don't have a 5G phone.
Yeah, and I do have a 5G phone, but of course it's the 5G that they only use in big cities, not
Right.
the 5G that I have around here
Right.
that I could be using if I had a phone that could, had that kind. But yeah, like so that's the problem, and like we're just starting to get fiber internet here too. So like even like when I'm playing cloud gaming through the ethernet, like I'm only getting, upload speeds of like 10 megabits per second or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like that's it's still not great for that kind of cloud gaming. It's still going to have hiccups and stuff. So I think that's the main thing really holding this back is just the infrastructure for the internet is just all over the place, all throughout the United States. So I mean, there's places that still don't even have high speed internet, like that goes over 100 megabits per second download. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, that's it for the news. Unless you guys want this late breaking news that has nothing to do with Xbox.
I don't know. What is it?
Charlie Cox to return as Daredevil in the MCU. There you go.
I'm in.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in.
There you go.
I'm in. I was talking about that potential that he better be coming back. So
Yeah.
that man's Daredevil.
Here's the quote from Kevin Feige. He says, "If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor to play Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that remains to be seen." So, cool. I'm into that. I liked Daredevil. I liked that first season a lot. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's get to the pass it on. What's coming to Game Pass this week? Oh, I had to update the article last week like 4 times because every day they're like, "Oh, guess what? New games on Game Pass." We didn't add these yesterday.
You almost got to do it daily. You got to do it daily almost because
yeah.
when we talked about last week, this is what's coming out to Game Pass. All of a sudden, like the 2 days after, all of a sudden they're like, "Bam! Here's some drops for you."
Yeah.
So you got Anvil, which came out on December 2nd. Apparently, Anvil stands for Ancient Vault Investigation Lab.
Whoa, that's cool.
So,
I love when games use acronyms for their title. It's so clever.
Yep. So, Jesse, this was the one you talked about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I forget if it was this one or Archvale, but I do start with an A though.
Yeah.
Start with an A. So Jesse talked about that obviously. Archvale also came out on December 2nd. This is a bullet hell with RPG elements.
Ooh.
Right? Something like that. So, yeah. So that sounds kind of cool. Final Fantasy 13-2.
Yes.
The Final Fantasy 13 series is very divisive in the Final Fantasy community because this is pretty much like the first Final Fantasy game to have like sequels within the same game universe.
Not true. Final Fantasy X was
10, 1, and 2.
I don't count that.
And then Final Fantasy 12 took place in the same universe as Final Fantasy Tactics.
So whatever. Anyway, so back to my point.
Also, Final Fantasy 12 had a direct sequel on the DS.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It did. Okay. Anyway, so Final Fantasy 13 had multiple iterations within it, numbered iterations, and 13.2 resolved a lot of the issues that a lot of people had with 13. 13 was very linear based. It didn't open up until the very, very end. So 13.2 changed up the battle system a lot to be more the turn-based style, but also adding a little bit of more action elements and having a lot more open world style levels and areas that you can explore. So Lightning isn't necessarily a main character in this. You're actually playing as her sister and some other dude.
They're both characters. They're both characters in Final Fantasy 13. The original.
Oh yeah,
they're both party members.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because Lightning was trying to protect her younger sister the entire time, and now in 13.2 she's the main character. But admittedly, at the time, like I said, when I played these games, 13.2 was my favorite. So
yeah, I think
this obviously is out already.
I think that's the general consensus for the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy is that 13.2 is the best one.
Yep. I talked about Lawnmower Simulator. That came out obviously last week. Rubber Bandits. Jesse talked about this one as well. That came out on December 2nd as well. Stardew Valley dropped. This was something that they were talking about, that Stardew Valley was going to come to Game Pass, and they just dropped it last week, December 2nd. Talked about Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector. This one's coming out actually by the time you listen to this. December 7th, Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. So you can buy, sell, and trade organs in a storage universe full of clients. So I imagine it's a kind of like a micromanaging manager simulator type game, but with organs.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. And there's one of the hottest indie games to come out this year. I think this is going to be a little small first-person shooter game called Halo Infinite. That's going to be coming out on December 8th. This is the campaign. Obviously, you can go play the multiplayer right now, but the campaign will now be available on December 8th. And it's a weird release. Like, usually big games like come out either on Tuesday or Friday, but this one's coming out on Wednesday, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
well,
I'm not complaining.
The thing is like the theory that it's coming out on Wednesday is because Tuesday is the last big marketing push through Bungie and Destiny, which is weird because, like, I don't know, but that's the theory. That's the theory. I know I talked about it at the top of the show, but
yeah, speculate all you want. One Piece Pirate Warriors comes out on the 9th. Apparently, this is think of the One Piece world as buildings come crashing down around you, attacks and throw up smoke and dust with each action on the battlefield. I don't get it. Fight hordes of enemies, adventure with trusted allies, and experience awesome One Piece action.
I like One Piece action.
Yeah. Aliens Fire Team Elite comes out on the 14th.
Yes.
This is a cooperative third-person survival shooter that drops your fire team of hardened Marines into a desperate fight to contain the evolving xenomorph threat. I have this on the PlayStation. It's really good, really solid, fun shooter game, especially if you are big into the Aliens universe. Yes. I believe
Stephanie and David are begging me to play it with them when it comes to Game Pass, so I said, fine.
Well, I'm in. Yeah, you have no excuse now.
I've been wanting to play it too because but this is a game where you got to play it with friends or otherwise it's just not not as fun.
Admittedly, if you play this with bots, the bots actually they do a pretty good job. Like, they're not useless. So, like, you know, sometimes playing with bots, they're pretty useless, and you're always doing all the work. But the bots are actually hold up pretty good. Among Us is coming to Xbox on December 14th as well. A very popular game that has obviously spawned many copycats in many forms ever since its release. But to me, I always feel that's the ultimate compliment, is that when people copy your work. So you basically prepare your spaceship for departure, but beware, as one or more random players among the crew are imposters bent on killing everybody. And you have to find out who the imposter is that's killing everybody.
Who is the imposter? Do you know?
Who knows?
Interesting.
Who knows? So that is what's coming out in the next few days.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, it's worth mentioning that if you are playing Halo Infinite through Game Pass, a Game Pass subscription, you will be getting exclusive cosmetics and boosters and all that kind of stuff as part of your Game Pass perks every month. So the first one is called Past Tense.
Pass.
Yeah. That's what I said.
P-A-S-S.
That's what I said. Pass. Like Game Pass. Tense.
Past tense.
Yeah. It's cool. It's like this lime green. I think it's like original Xbox green is the shader. Or skin or whatever you want to call it.
Shader.
Whatever.
This is Destiny.
I know. I'm sorry. God.
Yeah, these aren't shaders, bro.
Here's shader.
Keep your shaders out of my Halo, bro.
Yeah. Shut up, okay? Gosh. We're moving on. We're moving on to topic of the show. Moving on. It's a quick topic this week. just because I know we started late and we're kind of going along. What Xbox-owned franchises would you like to see come back? It's an easy one. It's really an easy one, guys. Banjo and Conquer are the big ones. Come on. Who wouldn't like a new Conquer game today?
See, I always liken Conquer to being an original Nintendo franchise, and I know like Xbox, Xbox and Rare kind of took it to the the Xbox series, but I guess I've never likened it to be like an original Xbox series.
Yeah,
that's me.
I guess you're right, but still, Conquer.
I still want to see Advent Rising come back, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't know. It's like I know, unfortunately, Chair Entertainment, the original developers of the game, are now the Fortnite factory, which makes me sad to hear those things. But it would be nice for them to kind of get the opportunity to complete that series, but they would almost have to start over, honestly. Like they'd have so much time has passed, and it's one of those things. If you want to tell a good story in the right way, you would almost have to start. You would almost have to do a remake, a complete top-down remake of Advent Rising, and then continue on from there.
Yeah.
If Orson Scott Card will let you.
What about you, Jesse? What do you want? What do you want from this?
I kind of it's been a little while now. I don't think it will ever happen, but I kind of would like to see the Dead Rising franchise get rebooted. Because for a long time those were exclusive to Xbox, and then eventually I think it kind of went everywhere. But
I think Dead Rising 5 came out, right? Dead Rising 5 was the only multi-platform one.
No, 4.
4 was 4 started it, and then
sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say 1 was a 360 exclusive, and then they kind of made a remixed, kind of dumbed down version for Wii of that version, and then 2 was multi-platform, but Xbox got the case 0 for Frank in that game.
Yeah.
And then Dead Rising 3 was published by Microsoft, so it is an Xbox One exclusive. And that was a launch game with what was the Greek Roman fighting game they did?
Rise.
Rise, yeah.
That was one that I'm waiting to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then 4 was completely multi-platform at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see that come back just because it's been a little while, but I also for older games, I would like to see them bring back Death Row or Fusion Frenzy or something like that.
Yeah.
Death Row, still to me, it's backwards compatible on Xbox right now. You can play it. But I would like to see them bring that back, and that in modern day, just the idea of basically it's frisbee mixed with basketball mixed with fighting game, so you can just straight up fight people in a Tekken or whatever, where you're just a 3D fighter game. And then when you're not beating people up, you're kind of passing this ring, and then you throw it through the hoop thing to score a point. And it was essentially it was you had different factions of inmates that were in different gangs that would verse one another. And it was just at the time it was just such an awesome, just unique game. And I would love to see it come back. Really, honestly, the only thing I can think of that kind of is even remotely close to what that did would be Rocket League, honestly. That's the closest thing to it. I don't know why, but Rocket League kind of reminds me of it, and for some reason. But yeah, I would just like to see some of those unique, weird sports type games come back again. you know, like they do have some, like there are some of those kind of weird games out there, like I forget what there's that one that's on PlayStation and that I think is exclusive to PlayStation. That I can't think of what it's called right now, but yeah, like Death Row, I would like to see come back and like get redone.
Cool. Stoy, you said you wanted to talk about Rise?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Rise.
And talk about Rise.
That was such a really good launch title. Like it was, it showcased the power of just the detail and the graphics that they could do. And obviously it's Crytek, which at the time, I mean, even still almost to this day, Crytek is like the pinnacle of like, graphical technology and what they could do. And, Crytek was obviously very well known for its Crysis series and how it pushed the boundaries to, for graphics in video games. But I would like to see them continue that, even though I think they used it almost as like a, hey, we want to use this game to showcase the power of the Xbox. I don't think they meant to even start it as a franchise, which, is kind of too bad. It's unfortunate, but, it is what it is. So I thought the combat was really good. The story was okay. It was just about like, Roman generals and Roman armies going against barbarian hordes. But I thought the combat was really fun. Super, like it kind of reminded me a little bit of what later evolved to be the kind of fighting style of, the Batman Arkham Origins. Well, not that, but the Shadow of Mordor games. The multiple combat style games and just the quick melee action and the bloody execution modes. Like that game did such a good job with that and making the hits feel real. Like, I don't know. It's too bad. Too bad we're never going to see it again.
Right.
At least it's backwards compatible.
Yeah. Rise.
Yeah.
Rise.
Another good one would be Jade Empire.
I know. I was thinking about that.
This was one that we were talking about today because we, coincidentally on the EXP cast, we had a conversation about what genres we should bring back and who should develop them. And it would be cool for Microsoft to publish this and maybe to have a studio like Obsidian maybe bring this to light.
The only thing is I think that BioWare and EA own Jade Empire still.
Yeah, but I mean, Microsoft Studios was one of the publishers.
I know.
So, I mean, maybe they still have a hand in it.
I know, but remember they published Mass Effect as well.
Yeah.
And God, dude, just think if this Microsoft was running the show back then, man, we could have had. I think Xbox could have had BioWare and kept Bungie and could have had Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Jade Empire, Destiny, Halo, all under one roof.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider was initially first on the PlayStation systems. I don't think it even.
Yeah.
Well, the first Tomb Raider came out on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but then when they rebooted it, it was exclusive to Xbox.
It was just the Shadow.
Yeah, the very first one. Yeah.
No, it was Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was it. Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, that was exclusive for a year.
The best one, although I think Shadow's the best one, but I think overall the best one people think is Rise.
Okay.
The game that I want them to bring back. I'm looking at this list here because my answer wasn't good enough. But I think from a business perspective and like a free-to-play model kind of look at it, Viva Pinata. I think they could do a lot with Viva Pinata in that space. Or even make like a $30 experience and like here's your Pinata pass or whatever that you could buy and get skins, and here's a Battletoad Pinata that you can buy for like $2 for your garden or whatever. And if it mates with the llama, you get a llama toad with, big fists or something. I don't know. Viva Pinata, everybody. It's coming back. Feel it.
I mean, yeah, it could. I was never a fan of it, so I got no stake in this game.
That's fair. It's fair. Anyways, that was a good topic. Quick topic. But we're gonna wrap the show. It's getting kind of late. I'm tired. I gotta work tomorrow. We started late. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, this is kind of late, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It was a good show. It was a good show. That's fine.
Sorry, guys.
It's a good show.
Regardless. It is officially.
It's all about the content. It's not about the quantity of episodes. It's about the quality of the episode.
Yeah.
So it's good content.
Still quantity, though. 2 hours for your ears, everybody.
For sure.
I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode. Remember, you can catch all of our content on bossrush.net. You can leave us a nice review on iTunes if you listen there. Leave us that. If you listen on Spotify, I don't know how they review things there, but do the good one if you do. Gentlemen, I thank you for your time tonight. Story, where can we find you?
Besides following me on the EXP cast, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram there. You can also follow my personal Twitter at StoyMKE8.
Nice.
That's about it.
Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Cool. You can find me at IamCoreyHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast every Wednesday night live here on Boss Rush Network Twitch channel. I don't know why I said it like that. That's weird. Or on Mondays on your podcast service of choice. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Boss Rush Network. You can join our Facebook group, join our Discord for fun times there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are 3 away from that magical 300 number. So subscribe. Do it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't really push the YouTube because we don't really do much over there, but it's still a nice round number that would be fun to hit.
Yes, and it's still where you got to go if you want to watch the video. I mean, that's what hosts our videos anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Not where you have to go to watch them, but you can.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to Arsenal X. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
It's on.